So, inshallah, as we discussed last time, our first topic, inshallah, for tonight's session is the discussion on al jumlatu shartiya. Jumla mean sentence and shartiya mean conditional. And I requested all of you, and I have sent you this same file 3 days ago. Inshallah, I'm expecting that you have gone through these notes. So what I will do, inshallah, I will quickly go through every page, and after every page, inshallah, I will take a pause, and you can ask me any of your questions. So, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. So, first of all, what is al jumlatu shartiya? A jumlatu shartiya is simply a conditional sentence in which first thing is said that okay, if this thing happens, as a result, a second thing will happen. So two events are linked together. That the occurrence of second event is dependent on the occurrence of first event. Now, we discussed last time that this is basically same jumla which in English language we call if and then sentences. So in Arabic, in jumla to shartiya, they are you can they are mainly two parts, but there are three terms which we use. First of all, a jumla to shartiya always begin with a specific word. Inshallah, we'll see those words today. In English, we call, for example, as the word if. The job of this word if is performed by a word in Arabic language, and we call this one, please pay attention, adatu shart. Ada mean tool, and shart mean condition, tool of condition. Okay, and the plural for adatun, adatun with the ta marbuta at the end. The plural of adatun is adawatun. So tools, basically those words which start a conditional sentence, we call them adawatu shart. After that, like I said, because two events will come after this tool of condition or adatu shart, first part is mentioned, and that is the part of condition, that this thing must happen. Okay, this part is sometimes called simple condition or shart, and sometimes they call it fi'lu shart, action of shart. And after that, the third and the last term is jawabu shart. Basically, jawabu shart is that last part which comes after then. So what comes after if, that is called shart or fi'lu shart. And what comes after then in English language, here we call that part as jawabu shart. So these are three terminologies. And then if you have noticed that in this part, they introduce that this adawatu shart, or these tools which are used to start a conditional sentence, we divide them in two categories. One are called jazima and other are called ghairu jazima. Now, what is this thing? You remember that we have discussed in our level 1 course that fail mudare has three forms: normal or default form, for example, yansuru. And then there is a mansoob form, which is yansura. And there's a majzoom form, yansur. This majzoom form, okay? So it says that they are some of the tools of condition. They would make condition part and jawabu shart part, both of the parts, they will become majzoom. Majzoom means that mudare will go in its last stage, sukoon stage, okay? And as we know that in the mudare chart, when we want to make mudare majzoom, those words which do not have noon, for example, yansuru or tansuru or ansuru, number 13, or nansuru, number 14. For those words which do not have noon at their end, when we want to make them mansoob, we change last harka into fatha. And when we want to make them majzoom, we change last haraka into sukoon. In other words, yansuru is normal, yansura is mansoob, yansur is majzoom. And those words in the mudare chart which have noon at their end, for example, yansurani or yansuruna or tansurani or tansuruna, for those words, in order to make them mansoob or majzoom, there's only one way. And what is that way? Just simply remove their noon. When you remove their noon, they go into their majzoom status, right? So they say that there are some adawatu shart or tools of starting a conditional sentence. Inshallah, we'll see them in a minute. They will make the mudare majzoom in both parts, shart part and jawabu shart part. And we call them adawatu shart al jazima. That those tools of conditional sentence which make the next thing into majzoom. And adawatu shart ghayru jazima. What are they? Those tools or those starters of conditional sentence which do not make mudare majzoom. Okay, so then they start the discussion with those words which do make majzoom. Inshallah, we'll see that what are those words. But first they said these 3 points. Point number 1, that they make both part, as I said before, they will make both part of the sentence. What are the both parts? Shart, if part, and then part. Shart part and jawabu shart part, both of them, they will become majzoom. Secondly, we have learned this point in some sense in the past as well, that after these adawatu shart, even if the next verb is madi, but you will translate as mudare, as you have seen in the case of iza. For example, iza ja'a nasrullahi wal fath. In that example, we discussed this point, that and because iza is here in this category of adawatu shart, that after these adawatu shart, which are jazima, when we translate the next verb, even if it's madi, we translate as mudare. And last point is on the then part, the last part, jawabu shart part, sometime before starting the jawabu shart part, we get an extra fa. Sometimes we get that, sometimes we don't get that. And by and large, if shart part and jawabu shart part are different in which sense? For example, different in the sense that the first part, for example, is mudare and second part is given in madi, or if first part is jumla failure and second part is jumla ismiya. So this is what we mean by different. So if the shart part and jawabu shart part are different, in those cases, by and large, you will get a extra fa. Where will you get this one? In the starting of then part. Now, before I enter into the next page, if there's any question on this first page, please ask me.
Assalamu alaikum, brother. I have a question which is about the majzoom form. I understand how it works, and I can remember like from previous lesson at that point, like you just touch page, but how it works, I mean, how it impacts the meaning.
Okay, sister, obviously in the case of previous lesson, when a word comes before mudare to make it majzoom, then that word will add the meaning. For example, lam is one of those words, sister, which make the mudare majzoom. So when lam will enter on the mudare, we know what will happen. It will translate the meaning into past and negation, right? So it will depend that what word came before mudare to make it mansoob or to make it majzoom, that word will define the new meaning. That is in the case of normal mansoob and majzoom of mudare. In this case, sister, when mudare will become majzoom, in this case, that conditional word, adatu shart, that adatu shart will define that now we will translate by using the word if. Makes sense, sister?
A bit, maybe from the example it will be clearer.
Inshallah, example is coming, inshallah. Yeah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam, brother Amir.
How are you? Can you please just explain that third bit again? I know there's one shart and the jawab shart. And what was the third part?
Okay, brother, first part is called that word itself which start a conditional sentence. We call that adatu shart. For example, in English language, the word if, okay, after the if, you get one sentence or one action that is called shart. And then after that, the consequences or the then part is called jawabu shart.
But then there's a third thing you also mentioned. What is that third thing?
My beloved brother, I said that Jumla has two parts, shart and jawabu shart, but I said there are three terms. First term is adatu shart, that word which start the sentence, which in English language is the word if, just the if word, not anything else. Okay. After that, you get a condition, and then you get a jawabu shart.
Okay, Jazakum. Yeah.
So Jumla itself has two parts, shart, jawabu shart. But before the shart starts, a word comes. We call that adatu shart, and that is the word I counted as the first thing in the sequence of three.
Okay, Jazakum.
Okay, let's inshallah move on to our next page, page number 2 of this file. And now we are starting the study of which one? Those adwatu shart which do make mudare majzoom, right? Now let's see the example. And remember one point before I read any of these examples. In these examples, I'm not going to explain that how to translate this and no, not at all. I'm only going to highlight three parts of the sentence. So remember this point. Inshallah, our example of conditional sentence, inshallah, I will give you as a practice sheet. So in this example, my focus is not to explain that how this word is made or how to translate this. I'm only going to highlight those three parts just to make sense of that discussion. In terms of examples for practice, inshallah, I will send a practice sheet, which inshallah you can all practice for yourself. So first, the first word they're discussing is in. So the first adatu shart we are discussing is the word in, which literally means if. Now, let's read it. And if you recall your discussion of when mudare becomes majzoom, now those things will make sense, that in the list of those words, please pay attention, in the list of those words which make mudare majzoom, inshallah, after the lesson, if you go back and check that those words, one of them was in. And now we are learning that why we use that in to make mudare majzoom, because we want to construct a conditional sentence, right? So this in is same, which is in your list already, which make mudare majzoom. So in tamsaskum, this tamsas, this sukoon at the end is telling you that this word has become majzoom. And why is tamsas? Because it is coming for the hasanatun. We all know one simple principle. And what is that principle? That in jumlatul failiyah, whenever you get an ism in rafa status, that ism also always becomes the outside file. As you see in this, even if you don't know the meaning of any of that, but you know grammatically that because this hasanatun is a ism and it is in rafa status, it means it will perform the role of outside file. And for this reason, instead of yamsas, we use the fourth one in the mudare cell, tamsas. Okay, so it has the meaning of to touch something. Okay, so in tamsaskum hasanatun, if good touches you, tamsas is fail mudare majzoom, kum attached pronoun will perform the role of maf'ul, hasanatun outside file. I just mentioned this on the side. So in tamsaskum hasanatun, if good touches you. Now this in will be called adatu shart, and this sentence tamsaskum hasanatun, this complete sentence will be called condition. So if good touches you, then what will happen? Tasuhum, it basically distress them, it makes them displeased, they don't like it. Basically munafiqun, that when something good happens to the believer, they get disturbed, they get distressed that why this good happened to them. So, but for our purpose of this lecture, we are learning is that in is the shart, adatu shart, tamsaskum hasanatun shart, and tasuhum is the jawabu shart. Next, another example, same ayah, but second example. In tusibkum sayyatun, and if something bad or harm fall on you or strikes you, yafrahu biha, they become happy with it. Okay, now in, because of in, you can see tusib, it was not, it has gone into jazm, majzoom status. Why? Because of this in. Secondly, you can see here as well, yafrahuna has become yafrahu. So both of the af'al or both of the verb have gone into their majzoom status. So in adatu shart, tusibkum sayyatun is the shart and yafrahu biha is the jawabu shart part. Any question about this first example? Okay, look at next example. In asabahu khairun atma an nabi. If good strikes him, he is content. Now, in is the adatu shart. Asaba, this asaba who is the attached pronoun, okay? Asaba, please pay attention because asaba is madi. How do I know? Please recall. I have given you a very simple sign of madi. And what is that sign? If you have a 3-letter word and first and last haraka is fatha, it is a sign of madi. So asaba, asaba. So asaba is madi. So there's no question of majzoom. Why? Because even though we have in, but in can only make majzoom to mudare because madi is mabni. Mabni means no change happen into madi. So don't be confused that why is asaba, why not asab? So now understand this point because asaba is madi. So in asaba who, if befall him khairun, something good, then what happened? Atma an-nabi, he is content with it. So in is the adatu shart, asabahu khairun shart, atma an-nabi jawabu shart. And then in asabathu fitnatun, and if you can say fitna, how to translate, or trial, okay, if a trial hits them, hits him, in qalaba ala wajhi, he turns back to his old ways, and literally mean in qalaba ala wajhi, he turns on his face. Basically, he goes back, he reverts. Okay, now in is the shart part, asabathu fitna. Sorry, in is the adatu shart part, asabathu fitna. Shart part, in qalaba ala wajhi. This sentence is the jawabu shart part. Likewise, if you look at third example, in takfuru. Now you see, because after in, you got mudare, takfuruna. It has become takfuru because of this mudare. Because of this in, mudare has gone into majzoom. So, in takfuru, and if you disbelieve, فَإِنَّ اللَّهَ غَنِيٌّ عَنْكُمْ, then Allah is free of need from all of you. Now, please pay attention. The first part, shart part is takfuru, mudare. And this jawabu shart part, inna allaha ghaniyun ankum, is a jumla ismiya, inna sentence, right? So because the both parts are differing in this case, so for this reason, you use the fa. This fa is called rabita. Rabita means connection. Connection between shart and jawabu shart. It will use in the jawabu shart part, but this fa is called fa of rabita. Rabita means it's a connection between the shart part and the jawabu shart part. And why it came in this example, as you can see, because both parts are different in terms of their nature. Any questions so far?
So the fa in the second sentence is different.
Sister, in is the adatu shart, takfuru is the
No,
shart.
the previous sentence, because that was also fa in.
Sister, this fa is used in the start of the jumla. So this fa is simple ataf. Okay, the fa of rabita that will be used on the jawabu shart part.
Second part, yeah.
Okay, clear, sister?
Yes.
So any other question so far before I move on?
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam, Brother Hanif.
So, because you told in the beginning that we are looking for which one is jawabu shart and which one is the question or a shart. So, if we found fa in the middle, that means after that will be jawabu shart. Is that one of the in the example? But if you don't have fa, that means the mudari will be the jawabu shart.
Brother, I give you simple way of, for example, if you look at this third example, this new example in which we have learning the next adatu shart, and that is man. Okay, shall I
Yes.
explain that point, inshallah, in this example, Brother Hanif? So,
Okay.
first of all, everyone, please listen this point carefully. So far, before this lesson, you know two type of man. One is called man of interrogative. When you say that man hua, who is he? That man. And then we learned another man that was man of ism mausul. Right? And today we are learning a third type of man, and that is called man shartiya. So do not confuse this man with the either man of ism mausul or man of interrogative. That is one point. Second point is, you may be thinking that how would I know? Look, when you will look at any of the example, context will make it very clear that this man is, which man is it? For example, let's look at this example. It says that man yakfur. Now let me take a pause and explain one point here. If this was man of ism mausul, man of ism mausul does not make mudare majzoom. If this was man of ism mausul, it would be yakfuruna. You see my point? So don't inshallah have hypothetical questions in your mind. Then how would I know? Inshallah, you will be clearly able to identify that which man is it. Okay. Obviously, it will take a bit of practice, but it is not going to be that confusing as you might think in your mind. I just want to preempt to mention this point. Now, man yakfur, whoever denies bi ayatillahi. Obviously, ba is jar and ayatillah. Ayati and Allahi are mudaf ilay, but this mudaf ilay is in the majroor bucket. So ba is jar, ayatillah is majroor. Now, man yakfur bi ayatillahi, whoever denies the signs of Allah. Right? Now, if you notice, even if this fa was not here, because you may be thinking that if we do not have the fa, then how would I know that jawabu shart part has started? For example, after this ayatillah, you have no way to connect this inna Allah with the previous ayah, because the previous one was jumla failure, and parts of jumla failure are what? Fail, you got the fail, you got the file, you got mutalliq bil fail. At max, you can get maf'ul, right? But this inna Allah, even if this fa was not here, inna Allah does not fit in any scheme which can connect this inna Allah with the previous one. So what I'm trying to say is, as Brother Hanif asked the question, that even if that fa is not there on the jawabu shart part, still the way you can see that jawabu shart has started, that you would not be able to join with these two things in any way, shape, or form. As in this case, yakfur bi ayatillah, this part is the shart part, and inna Allah sariyul hisab is an inna sentence, and we all know that inna sentences are jumla ismiya. So, and because in this, even for example, even this fa was not here, you can still identify that shart part has ended with bi ayatillahi, and the next part has start from inna Allah. And then this fa is coming as a rabita or connector between the shart and jawabu shart. Brother Hanif, did you get your answer?
Yes, your answer is actually more than what I asked, but yes, I got the answer.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Jazakallah khairan.
So look at next example. Man ihtada, whoever, and notice one more thing. This man is basically translated like man of ism mawsul, because that's how you translate that man as well. But after man of ism mawsul, you will never get a condition situation. Okay, for example, man ihtada, whoever is guided. Fa innama, so, and you see, first of all, this fa has told you that jawabu shart part has started. Even this fa was not here. Even this fa was not here. Innama, you know that inna sentence has started, which means a new sentence has started. So what I'm trying to highlight, inshallah, you'll be able to spot both parts. So whoever is guided, innama yahtadi li nafsi, then indeed he is upon guidance for his own benefit, for his own self. Okay. And then another sentence, man dalla, and whoever is misguided, fa innama yadillu alayha, then his misguidance is upon his own self. In other words, Allah is telling us that somebody's guidance or someone's misguidance is going to harm or benefit that person. If you have any question about this man, inshallah, you can ask me, and then we can move to the third one, ma. Okay, look at the next, now the third word. All of these words are so far jawazim. Okay, they will make mudare majzoom if mudare comes. Okay, so far we have in, we have man, and now the third word is ma. Same thing as I said about min. Ma is also of same three types. Ma of interrogative, ma of mausula, and today we are learning the third ma of condition. Okay, now ma tunfiku min shay'in fi sabilillah, whatever you spend in the path of Allah, yuwaffa ilaykum, it will be returned to you in full. Waffa means to give something full, ilaykum, to you. So ma is adatu shart, tunfiku min shay'in fi sabilillah. And notice the point, tunfikuna has become tunfiku. Secondly, you can see that min shay'in mutalliq bil fail, fi sabilillah mutalliq bil fail, and then yuwaffa, you see a new sentence has started. Even there's no fa, but you can see that there's no way for you to connect this yuwaffa with the previous one. Why? Because this was jumlatul failiyah, right? And like I said before, jumlatul failiyah has these parts. Okay, fail, tunfiku was fail. Inside of tunfiku, antum was the file, right? Min shay'in mutalliq bil fail, fi sabilillah mutalliq bil fail. Okay, and the only thing which you may get was maf'ul, but maf'ul is a ism in nasab status. You did not get that here. So this is how you see that the next part has started. So this was the example of ma. Okay, and then if you look at next example again about the ma asabakum min musibatin fabima kasabat aydihim. They have mentioned something here about min. Inshallah, don't worry about that. That will be discussed, inshallah, in its own time. Right now, I am not discussing this min bayaniya or anything like that. So, ma of adatu shart, asabakum min musiba, shart part, bima kasabat aydikum, jawabu shart part. Okay. Likewise, this ma yaftahillahu linnasi bir rahma, fala mumsik laha. Same example, ma is adatu shart, yaftahillahu linnasi mir rahma. Shart part, fala mumsik laha, jawabu shart part. So this was the example of ma. And next, last and the fourth one is ainama. Not aina, not ma, there's a combination of ainama. Remember this point. So learn this word as on its own a complete word, a collection of aina and ma, ainama. Okay. Now, ainama sukifu, wherever they are found, ukhizu, take hold of them, wakuttilu, and massacre them, taktila, completely. It is about the disbelievers and it is about the battlefield. Okay. So, ainama, adatu shart, sukifu, sukifu. Okay. And then ukhizu, sukifu was the shart part. Wherever you find them, then what do? Ukhizu, hold on them. Wakutilu, and kill them. So sukifu was shart part, ukhizu wakutilu. And how would you know that new part has started? Sukifu is a fail and ukhizu is a new fail. Okay, so this is how you understand that. And by the way, the reason they look like a little bit little bit different than normal fail, because all of them are majhul. Majhul means passive-wise. Inshallah, the discussion of active and passive is coming very soon, inshallah, in our coming lessons. So this is the reason that it looks a bit different. It is passive tense. Okay, as you can see in the translation, they are found. Found by who? You do not know. They are taken. Taken by who? You do not know. They are massacred by who? You do not know. Okay, so that's why these af'al or the verb, they look a little bit different than as you are used to. So aina ma takunu, you see it was takununa, it has become takunu. Aina ma takunu, wherever you may be, yudrikumul maut, death will find you. So aina ma adatu shart, takunu is a shart, yudrikumul maut, jawabu shart part. And then we are having the list of, inshallah, very quickly, inshallah, list of those words, still same subject, but now list of those words which start a conditional sentence, but they do not impact mudare, they leave mudare as it is. They don't make it majzoom. First of them is law. Now, this is a very interesting discussion about the law. Point number one, they say that law is used to express conditions that are highly unlikely to be, or they are very hypothetical, which means they are highly likely to be met. Law comes for those conditions which are highly likely to be met. They are just mafruda or hypothetical things. And it generally translated as had it been the case, then, okay, so had it been the case, or had, simply had, this is the construction of law or the translation way of law. So this is the only shart that translates in the past tense. So understand, inshallah, and remember these points. These are the unique point about this word law. So number one, it is for those conditions which are highly unlikely to be met. Number two, we translate this in the past tense, unlike normal conditional sentences. And in a conditional sentence which use law, you will get you will find lam on the jawabu shart part, but not always. Okay. And this lam can sometimes be omitted as well. Like I said, it is not you have to, but sometimes. Okay, look at the example just to make sense of all of that. So, law kana fihima alihatun, had it been fihima, in them, alihatun, gods, illallah, other than Allah. This fihima, in both of them. What is both of them in the context of the ayah? Heavens and the earth. Because the previous ayah is about heavens and the earth. So fihima, in both of them, alihatun illallah, had there been gods in them other than Allah, la fasadata. You see, this lam is coming on the jawabu shart part, and this was this point that in the conditional sentences of law, sometimes you get this lam on the jawabu shart part. Secondly, do not be confused with this fa. This fa is part of the word fasadun. Okay, fasadata, fasadata. Okay, so this is number 5 in the Madi chart. Fasada, fasada, fasadu, fasadat, fasadata. Number 5 in the Madi chart. So this fa is part of the word. This fa is not extra fa attached. And next example, لو كان هؤلاء آلهة. لو كان, had it been the case, كان هؤلاء آلهة, that they were gods. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is talking about the false gods which people are worshipping, and on the day of judgment, when their false god will be thrown into the hellfire. This is the context of the ayah. So Allah is saying that had it been the case that that those ilah, sorry, these gods, okay, they were really the god, ma waraduha, then they would not have come to it. It means Jahannam. So had it been the case that these false gods were the gods, haulai aliyatan, if these were the gods, ma waraduha. So ma waraduha, this ma is ma of negation. Ma waraduha, they would not have come to it, which means Jahannam. So qalu law. So don't worry about the qalu. Law is the starting of sentence as a conditional sentence. Law na'lamu qitalan. Had we know qital, that how to do the qital, lattaba'nakum, this lam, and then ittaba'nakum. Lam is lam, this same lam which came on the previous sentence, this lam. Okay.
What's the meaning of this lam?
This sister, this lam is called lam of emphasis. Is that clear?
Yes, yes, thank you.
No worries. So anyhow, these were the examples of love, and the next word is, and remember this point. Most of the sentence you found, inshallah, when you see the practice of conditional sentence, most of them, they have either from the category of in or iza. These are the most common starters of Jumla Shartiya, in and iza. Rest of them are found as well, but you will find them very common. So iza, we have already learned about the iza, by the way, that when iza comes, we translate, even if it is madi, we translate that as a mudare. We already know this point. But it says that if iza come before the mudare, then what? It says that if iza come before mudare, it is translated in the present tense and indicates that event is repeated. Obviously, if iza comes before madi, and we translate that madi as mudare, but what if iza come before mudare? So the benefit would be action is repeated. It's a repetitive action. And then it says that same point, that the jawabu shart part will have fa when both parts are different. Shart and jawabu shart part are different, the same point. Okay, so iza asabathum musiba, iza, okay, asabathum musiba, shart part, qalu inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Once again, the sign of identifying the both parts is same. And what is that point? If you look at this one, iza is adatu shart. Okay, asabathum musibatun. After musibatun, you get kalu, and you know that kalu is a complete verb. So new sentence has started. Even though there's no fa, but you'll still be able to find that thing. So iza asabathum musiba, and that when any calamity befalls on them, qalu, they say, the believers, okay, what do they say? Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi rajiun. Indeed, we belong to Allah, and to Allah we return. Iza sa'alaka ibadi, iza sa'alaka ibadi anni, Surah Baqarah, very famous ayah. Iza, adatu shart, sa'alaka ibadi anni, fa inni qareeb. even this fa was not there, inni will be the sign that next part has started. So when my servants they ask about me, fa inni kareeb, then I am near. Iza tutla alayhi ayatuna, iza adatu shart part, tutla alayhi ayatuna. Our signs are recited on them. Walla mustakbira, walla mustakbira. Sorry, alayhi, upon him, one person, not alayhim. So when our ayat are recited upon him, walla mustakbira, what he does, he turns away with arrogance. Okay, ka'allam yasmaha, as he did not heard. Now, first part is tutla alayhi ayatuna. As a result, what happened? Walla mustakbira. He turns with arrogance. And this is just a side point, okay? Just a side point. It says that when iza is added with before a jumlatul ismiya, it creates the meaning of surprise or something wondered. As the example is fa'alqaha, and he, Musa alayhi salam, when Allah asked to Musa alayhi salam to throw his staff, so fa'alqaha, so when he threw it, it means staff. Fa'iza hiya hayyatun tas'a. So it was like a fast moving snake. So this this iza, fa is just result, okay? This is not like a jumla shartiya. It is just basically giving us the usage of iza before jumla ismiya. That is the whole point here. So because iza is used and hiya mubtada, hayyatun khabar, and tas'a is the sifa for this khabar. So hiya is mubtada, hayyatun khabar, and tas'a is the sifa for this khabar. So hiya hayyatun tas'a, it was a fast moving snake. Now because of this thing is there's a meaning of surprise, and which they translated as suddenly. Okay, this suddenly is not the meaning of any of them here. This suddenly is just the capturing of this iza before jumla ismiya. This is the whole point of this example. Okay, inshallah, last point, we can inshallah complete this one. And this was the whole reason, I requested all of you multiple times that please read this file so you are in a better position to understand and to ask me any of your questions. But in case if you did not, inshallah, you still have the time, please, still the same topic. Inshallah, you can still go through this file and you can watch this video again. And inshallah, then you can practice the example, which inshallah I will send after today's lesson. So al-amr wa jawabul amr. Sometimes we find in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives a command, and then he says that if you do this, as a result, this will happen. Okay, so now you will find what will be the structure of the sentence. In the structure of the sentence, you will first get a fail amr or command, and then you will get fail mudare majzoom. One more time, you will get fail amr in the first part of the sentence, and in the second part, you will get mudare majzoom. This will be the sign that it is a amr and jawabul amr case. Let's look at the example to clarify this point. Ittabi'uni, follow me. Now, ittabi'u, this ni is a maf'ul. Ittabi'u. The actual word was tattabi'una. Please pay attention. Actual word was tattabi'una. You remove that ta, as we do in the case of making command form. You remove the ta, you added the alif, and you gave that alif a haraka. So attabi'u, commanding to plural. Ittabi. If it was singular, ittabi. Okay, ittabi'a. Ittabi'u. So ittabi'u is the word. Ittabi'u is a command. So ittabi'u ni, follow me. So ni is just a maf'ul. Ittabi'u is the fail amr. Yuhbibkumullah. You see, yuhbib. Actual word was yuhbibu. So yuhbibu has become yuhbib. Yaghfiru has become yaghfir. So what we are learning is, please pay attention to this point. You first get fail amr. After the fail amr, you get mudare majzoom. This will be the sign of amr and jawabul amr. In translation, what is happening here? Ittabi'uni. Follow me. Me mean Prophet ﷺ. Okay. What will happen? Yuhbibkumullah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will love you. وَيَغْفِرْ لَكُمْ ذُنُوبَكُمْ. And He'll forgive you your sins. So, ittabi'u and yuhbib. That is the main construction here. Next example is about Musa alayhi salam. When Allah commanded to Musa alayhi salam that wadmum, this vow is just in the start. So, udmum, yadaka, that you basically put your hand ila janahika, under your armpit. So Allah is commanding to Musa alayhi salam that you put your hand under your armpit. This is a command. What will happen? Takhruj. You see, takhruju has become takhruj. So you got amr form, and right after the amr, in the next part, you got the mudare majzoom. This is the sign that it is a amr and jawabul amr form. And then in this one, they explain that same problem. They said that, look at this one. Zarhum. Zar is a amr form. Zar. Hum. Hum is a maf'ul. Okay. Hum is a maf'ul. Zar is the fail amr. After zar, you have yal'abuna. So the first part is zarhum fi ghawdihim. Leave them in their empty stuff. Okay, zarhum, Allah is commanding. So the first part has command zarhum. But because yal'abuna has not become majzoom, so it will not be the example of amr and jawabul amr. So this is the reason they mention this point here, that if you get fail amr, but in the next part of the sentence, if mudare does not become majzoom, as yal'abuna did not become yal'abu, then it is a simple sentence. It is not amr and jawabul amr. And inshallah, if you have any question, you can ask me now.